Hi, my name is Laura Fales, and I'm the Food Service Director for USD 320 Wamego. Along with the Wamego Public Library, we are so excited to bring you another summer series of Cooks and Books. It takes a lot of ingredients to make Cooks and Books a reality. Thanks to the generous donations of food, time, funds from these Kansas growers, producers, businesses, and organizations, we're able to provide 5 weeks of delicious recipes for you, our most important ingredient. Today, we're going to be making blueberry baked oatmeal. Did you know that oatmeal got its start being known as porridge in Scotland? Who knew? And if you want to learn more about Scotland, you can by checking out this great little book at the Wamego Public Library all about Scotland. And since we have blueberries in our recipe today, you can also check out Blueberries for Sal, which is an adorable story about a little boy and blueberry picking adventures with his mom. And Lynn's rooftop garden. Lynn has lots of fruits and vegetables in her rooftop garden, but she keeps looking for her blueberries. So be sure and check out these books and many others at the Wamego Public Library. So to get started with our blueberry baked oatmeal, we have to make sure that our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. So if you need an adult to help you make sure that the oven is set properly, please do that. And you always want to get that set first so that your oven is ready to go once your ingredients are all into the baking dish. So my oven is ready to go, so let's get started mixing our ingredients together. The first thing that we're going to do is mix all of our dry ingredients. So our recipe calls for 3 cups of oats. You want to make sure that you are using instant oats, not long cook, and not steel cut. It's important that they be instant oats, which is what you have in your bag today. So we've got our 3 cups of oats, and then we need 1 cup of packed brown sugar. I have already measured mine. This little cup, a little bowl is actually a 1 cup measuring cup. And I packed it in there. Look how it just came out in one big chunk like that. Then we're going to need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which comes with a handy dandy leveling edge. So you want to make sure it's nice and level. There's our 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we need 2 teaspoons of table salt, or I'm sorry, 1 teaspoon. Boy, that'd be really salty. 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And these are all of our dried ingredients. Let's see if I can get this out of here without... There's our cinnamon. I love the way that cinnamon smells. It's one of my favorites. We're going to take a whisk and mix all these dry ingredients together. And since I packed that brown sugar in there pretty tight, kind of have to break it up a little bit. We're just trying to get them evenly mixed together and make sure that that brown sugar, if it's clumping back up, to make sure you break up those clumps. And brown sugar does like to clump up when it's in the pantry, and an easy way to get it to unclump is to microwave it for just a few seconds, not a lot of seconds, because it will start to melt. But if you microwave it for just a few seconds, it starts to soften just enough that you can break down those big hard clumps. Okay, our dry ingredients are all mixed together. Now we're going to work on our wet ingredients. And a lot of recipes call for you to do your dry ingredients first and then your wet ingredients and then combine them together. So our recipe is calling for 6 tablespoons of melted butter. I just put them in a microwave safe bowl and microwave them for about 30 seconds and nice and melted. We're going to add 1.5 cups of milk, which I had already measured. And then we're going to add 2 large eggs. And there are lots of different ways to crack eggs. I crack them right on the edge of the bowl, just like that, and very gently pull them apart. Now we're going to use that same whisk and beat this mixture together until our eggs are all broken up and you can't see the yolk anymore. You want those yolks broken up. All right, that is looking good. Now we're going to add our wet ingredients right into our bowl with our dry ingredients. And I'm going to just slowly pour these in a little bit at a time. And this, you might want a grown-up if this bowl is too heavy. If you pour it all at once, it might slosh out everywhere. But if you can do it a little bit at a time, it helps you make sure that you're getting that moisture to all of those dry ingredients. You want to make sure that all of the oats have some moisture. Okay, I'm going to make sure that we get all of that butter. This is where I'm going to use my little spatula. Make sure I'm getting all of that milk egg mixture in, and then we're going to give this another good stir. And I'm looking for any brown sugar clumps to make sure I'm getting those broken up. I think I've gotten them all. And you can see that it looks a little like oatmeal already, right? We wouldn't want to eat it though because it has the raw egg in it. And now what we're going to do is gently fold in our washed blueberries. Now I've washed mine in a little strainer, and so they're ready to go in. You can wash fresh fruit in the sink under cool running water right in the strainer, and then be sure and shake and get the moisture off. But you always want to wash your fruit that you get in the store or at the farmer's market. And we want to kind of gently fold these in so that we're not crushing any of the berries. We don't want to smush them. We just want them dispersed throughout the mixture. So that is looking pretty good to me. And now we're going to get our baking dish. This recipe calls for an 8x8 pan. You should have received one of these, a disposable one, in your toolkit. And it tells you to give it a little spray with some vegetable spray, which also you should have gotten in your toolkit. So just a little bit, that helps it not stick to the sides and makes it a little easier to serve when it comes out of the oven. So now we're going to gently pour our oatmeal mixture right into our baking dish. There we go. Boy, this looks and smells fantastic. And you see how easily we put all that together. What a fun way to surprise your parents or grandparents, visiting family, or whoever you would want with a special breakfast. So now we're going to put this in our preheated oven. We're going to set the timer for 40 to 45 minutes. And when that timer goes off, we'll pull it out and take a look at it. Okay, happy baking. Our timer went off and our blueberry oatmeal bake smells and looks delicious. You want to make sure that you cool it on a cooling rack or on top of the stove for about 10 minutes because it will be piping hot when it comes out of the oven. And all you need to serve are some bowls, and you just put a scoop. Oh, look at the steam. I tell you what, this smells so good. Into each bowl, you could add a little more milk onto the top if you wanted. You could also add a little bit of syrup, some more fresh blueberries, any other toppings like walnuts or pecans that you would want to add at the top. Really, you could use your imagination for your toppings. So I hope that you really enjoy your blueberry oatmeal bake. See you next time.